Well, good evening. Welcome to Grover Hill Zion United Methodist Church Thursday evening devotions from around the kitchen table. Wow, we have a nice little rain here this afternoon and this evening. Kind of cooled things down a little bit, but I guess it's that time of year. Labor Day is rapidly approaching, and thus the Van Wert County Fair. And oftentimes around Labor Day, it can be kind of rainy, it can be kind of chilly, anything can happen, I guess. But anyway, it's a nice day today anyway. Well, I was thinking today, and I just wanted to share with you just a little bit about the book of Ecclesiastes in the Old Testament. Solomon, who was considered to be the wisest man in his day who had ever lived, and certainly he was a very wealthy person. And he writes warning us about some of the things in life. Especially, he writes in Ecclesiastes against going to the temple and making sacrifices, but not having any understanding of God or of life. And so he wants people then to accept the wisdom that he's dishing out, the wisdom that he had gleaned throughout his lifetime. He also writes in chapters 4 and 5, recognizing the superiority, but the ultimate vanity of wisdom. And he reminds us then to be sober in your speech to God. Think about right riches and ultimately enjoy God's gifts to you. Now, one major gift that God gives to us is the gift of having the ability to enjoy your work and the fruits of your labor. Now, what does this mean about going in right relationship with God and worshiping God in a right way? Well, there's a song, it's one of those choruses that I haven't heard it for a long time, but let me just share with you, very short. It just says, it's called With a Clean Heart, and it says, with a clean heart, I'll praise you. With a pure heart, I'll honor you. With a heart that's full of love for you, I will magnify your name. And I believe that's what Solomon means when he's talking about worshiping God in a right way. In a right way, and understanding God. Now, what's the meaning of Ecclesiastes that Solomon is writing about? Solomon is addressing us to say that in stunning ways that the key to life is not found in life itself. And he would know, all kinds of wisdom, all kinds of wealth and material possessions, many wives, and still nothing satisfied his life. And so he tells us that things that are not keys to life, they're not really life itself. Such things as pleasure, materialism, wisdom, and life itself. Those things aren't really things that bring happiness in your life. So in life they really are meaningless, he reminds us. And he tells us that true happiness comes from centering our lives on God and not on ourselves. Not on ourselves. Oh, we do that though, don't we? The more we can get, the more happiness we'll find, and we find that when we get more, that we're really not happy. We're still in the place seeking happiness. Now, there's a speaker in Ecclesiastes, and he calls himself the teacher, and he identifies himself as the current king of Israel and the son of David. And as far as I can tell, he's pointing to himself. He's pointing to Solomon, the son of David, the king of Israel. I don't see how it could be anyone else. Ecclesiastes means one who convenes an assembly or a preacher. Why did Solomon write Ecclesiastes? You would think that as the king of Israel and all the wealth and material possessions and the many wives that he had, that he lived a good life. And then his life would have been full of happiness. He would probably be the happiest person ever to have lived. One would think that. But that's not what he says. His final words to us are that all is vanity. Everything is in vain. Everything is meaningless under the sun. Everything. And he shows us that a life without God is a life without purpose. A life without meaning. A life without true happiness. And he writes that there's a cord of 3 strands and it can't easily be broken. And now, what does this cord mean, this cord of 3 strands? It represents the joining of one man, one woman, and God into a marriage relationship. Traditionally, the cords are gold, white, and purple. The gold then represents God, and the purple represents the majesty of the groom, and the white, the purity of the bride. And Solomon's telling us that if you want to put true happiness in your family life, true happiness in your own life, that you need to keep God at the center of everything you do. Keep God at the center of everything you do, and you will learn about life. Well, have a great and blessed week.